एंजॉय करना है और ईद के बाद एक इवेंट हम करते हैं। तो बगैर किसी तहरीर के मैं अपने पहले जो सेंट्रिस्ट पार्टी के पायनियर भी हैं, हमारे बहुत बड़े कायद हैं, हर सतह पे हर लेवल पे उन्होंने सियासी एतबार से इकनॉमी एतबार से सेंट्रिस्ट पार्टी की रहनुमाई फरमाई। मेरा मतलब शाहिद खान साहब, मैं इंजीनियर शाहिद खान साहब से रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा राना शाह साहब, तो शाह भाई से रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि आप आएँ हमारे अहबाब को करें। सेंट्रिस्ट का हमारे जो मुस्तक़बिल के एम्बिशन है जो 9 है, जिस एंगल पे हमारी फोर्स को आप इस्तेमाल करना चाहेंगे उसके बाद
Thank you, Dr. Sahab. I was expecting to have called me for a speech. I wasn't really prepared for that, but
Can you tell him to move it?
doesn't speak Urdu or
No, it's better you speak in English. We understand. Because we have
French from Burma.
Yeah.
In French if you want, it's okay.
I'm not very fluent in French, but Dr. Rana is fluent.
No problem.
But we keep it bilingual. I take permission from founder.
Anyway, thank you for inviting Dr. Taha, and I think you're the owner of the house. Atikur Rahman. So, Atikur Rahman, thank you for inviting us and having us such a delicious lunch, barbecue. I really enjoyed the barbecue. So, anyways, this is a Centrist Party of Canada. It's a federally registered party. Probably most of you guys already aware of that. It is as good as any other federally registered political party, whether it's liberal, whether it's conservative, Green Party, or any, Parti Québécois or anything. It took us a long time to get to this stage, where we have fully registered status. So Dr. Rana and the founders, some are present here, Hafiz Munib Saab and he's not here today, Dr. Rao. So a lot of people have worked really hard to get registered. Even if somebody tries right now to get a party registered and to comply with the rules and regulations of the Elections Canada, it takes years. By the time these guys have started the party or started working towards registering a party, it took them almost 3 to 4 years before they get the eligible status for registration. Not a registered status. So the registered status you only receive once you have one candidate nominated for the party election. When our last election happened in 2021, we nominated 4 candidates.
Is it good?
From basically GTA area. That's where we got fully registered status. So this is just a very little background of the party. But getting to that point, to get it registered and have 750 people registered, member of the party, and those people have been verified by the Elections Canada. It's a very long process. And then what happened is that,
Can you tell them to
pandemic,
quiet down?
everything got stopped. So everything got to halt, and it even delayed our status to become eligibility for the party. So why there was a need of a party? There's already a lot of parties here. Most of you people are, including myself, have voted Liberal for forever. I'm here. Let me just introduce myself a little bit. My name is Shahid Khan. My background is marine engineering, so I graduated from Karachi Marine Academy in 1989. Then I sailed all around the globe in different companies, multinational companies. Sailed as a marine engineer, all the way to the chief engineer status. My last year before coming to Canada from 1992 and 2000 was in England. I was sailing in England and I was studying in England, and then I immigrated to Canada in 2000. So already here 24 years. So having looked at the West, we have immigrated to the West. Whether we immigrated because of economic reasons, or whether we immigrated to propagate the deen of Allah. So the intention is in your heart. So if you have not have the intention right, so you can renew your intention now, because this is very important. I'm not a political speaker, but having said that, this is very important from our perspective, from our ethics, from our family values, because You know, having lived here for 25 years and 24 years, most of you been here maybe more than me, you might have seen the values have gone astray. And not only in Canada. You know, like I've been going to Pakistan every year. I was just in Pakistan for 3 weeks. You wouldn't believe it that how the things have changed, how the values have changed. Sometimes I feel myself and my kids feel that we're misfit in Pakistan or in any part of the world, whether it's Middle East, because I have lots of friends who live in Middle East. When I go to Pakistan, I always stop over in Middle East, either in Doha or in Dubai or Abu Dhabi for a few days because I got friends there, I meet them. And I found that every value we had whether from our perspective, cultural values or religious values have gone down the drain. So in here, it is even worse because it is politically and legally, you know, supported those values, which is not our values. So this is why we need, if you look at my hair and look at my age, I'm probably at the last leg of my life. Last leg means that the last decade of my life, right? So I've spent my life enough. So I have no intentions to be a leader or to be an MP of this country. We needed to start somewhere, okay? But that pass on to our next generation, the values, our party. You know, otherwise there'll be, you know, if you go to join any other party, Liberal Party, they'll ask you to sign on to the LGBTQ that you support those values. We don't interfere with them. Let them do whatever they do in their bedrooms, you know, behind the scenes. But I'm not going to support them out in the public and endorsing them to be as my value. That's not my value. I've got red lines. I cannot cross those red lines. Whether you talk about religiously, whether you talk about culturally. So this is why these founders, Dr. Rana and some other people have come up with an idea that we should actively participate in politics. Because no change can happen in the West without taking part in politics. Okay? You can do whatever, protest, you can go to massages, you can build 20 massages in Brampton, they will not interfere you. You can stay in sujood for 24 hours a day, they don't care, you know. Even Allah doesn't care whether you're in sujood or not. But what you're going to do with the muamalat of the country, muamalat of your, you know, with your human beings, with your friends, with your brothers, with the society, we have some rights, we have some obligations to perform. And those obligations, somebody has to start. You know, this is why the leader like Dr. Rana, they have that, you know, mental caliber that to pursue those values, to pass on to the next generation. Otherwise, we'll be lost. I have seen a lot of families around me, they're completely lost. They're neither Muslim, they're neither Pakistani, they're neither Canadian. They have gone astray to a point that it is, may Allah bring them back. So having said that, conservative, probably you may know, they're closest to our values, but because they are on a religious path, which is Christianity, whatever you call it, but they don't like us. They just say out loud. They say out loud. They don't like us because of either our color, because either of our, you know, religious background or culture or whatnot. But we love them. We love everybody. Humanity, from our perspective, we love every human being on planet Earth as long as they are on the right path. We even, you know, our prophet has worked hard. So when the Jews died, he was crying. You know, why is he crying? He's crying because he's going towards the hell. We want everybody to come back to the fold of Islam or submit to Allah to be together in Jannah. So basically, having said that, I'm not talking about, this is not a political party, but again, our values do not match with the values of the other parties. And these parties have become a cult these days, you know. You might have heard about cults, you know, when they induct you, you cannot get out. So this is what happened. They have made some kind of protocols and laws and bylaws that once you get in, you have to abide by every single letter of the law that they have produced on their paper. So this is why this party is open to suggestions, open to you know, discuss about anything, any issues. We do not have any impose any values or laws or anything on our people that you cannot, support this or you cannot go against that one. But in there, if you're in that party, whatever the party caucus has said, you have to endorse that party caucus has said. You do not have your own independent thinking or independent mind. Again, I'm not going to continue on. So yeah, this is I'm going to stop here. But anyways, if you are someone you know who have the ambition or aspiration to contest in the next federal election, kindly bring them forward. We have something to share with them, that how to propagate the party, because to propagate the party is not by a single human being as a leader or a caucus of the party or the executive committee of the party. People like Dr. Taha or Hafiz Atiq or whoever has the aspiration, they should make their own writings and they start working with their own writings, because that's how the party flourishes. When they listen to you and they know what your values are, what your manshur is, or they will listen to you and they'll become members. Otherwise, one person cannot go everywhere. So each riding has its own electoral district association. So this is very important. The members, you should join as members. When you go and talk to somebody, for example, you're going to talk to your MP or you're going to talk to the mayor, whether from your religious background, from your alumni association, when you show them that I have 500 members behind me, they talk to you. But if you're going alone doesn't mean anything. You're nobody. So this is why collectiveness, togetherness is very important. And the more the members you have, like we say in masajid also, be a member of every masjid, so that whenever they're talking to somebody as an MP to get some benefit from the government, they have members standing behind them. So this is important. The members have to be important, that they should join the party. Electoral district associations are very important. And the third one is very important, which is the funds. No party can run, no corporation can run, no organization can run without the finances. And especially in Canada, the laws are such that if you donate $10, $7.5 will be given back to you by the government. This is how the Kurds, whether I'm talking about the Kurds, that's how these people collect money. If they collect $10 million, $7.5 million goes back to the people's pocket. So it's 75% is tax deductible. If you can afford $10 a month, please donate $10 a month, because by donating $120 or $100 a year, you're going to get only donate $25. If you go to with your family to a Tim Horton, you will spend $25 right then and there in one go. Anyway, I'll stop here and I'm going to call upon Dr. Rana. He's a very famous neurologist here. He's a super specialist. He has quite a lot of awards under his belt. He's written a lot of books in English. 20 books have been translated into 50 languages around the globe. He also runs a charity as well, which distributes free medicine to the Parkinson's patients all around the globe. Please welcome Dr. Rana, the founder of the party.
You can ask questions after the speech, because he's our founder, he's our chief guest, and you can ask questions. Definitely, you will have maybe many things in your mind. You can ask our founder, our chief, after the speech, the question, please.
I think we'll talk only on a couple of points. So we can talk a lot of things, but the time is short. I had a clinic this morning and I had to go back to my clinic. 2 o'clock I had the first patient, so I had to be there before 2. So just one question. Anyone, what is the cheapest price you ever fill your car with gas? Can anyone talk? Anyone remembers?
65 or 63 cents.
And
I 28-30 cents when I paid. 2002.
54 cents. Yeah.
I remember myself when I was a student to fill my car, to buy gas at 28-32 cents. And today, last night, I needed some gas. It was 166.9. This morning, when I left my home, and there's a gas station very close, I saw the price 172. This is happening in a country which has the third largest reserve of oil. If I tell you today that Saudi Arabia imports oil, you will be shocked, right?
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia importing oil? We have almost as big reserve of oil as Saudi Arabia. We have 162 billion barrels of oil under the ground. If whole world uses our oil, it will not finish for centuries. But what is happening with us? Oil needs to be drilled, right? Then need to be transported, then need to be refined, and then sent back to the users, right? We are not drilling enough oil. We don't have pipelines. There was the Energy East pipeline, which was supposed to go from Alberta towards Atlantic Canada. Mr. Trudeau, he killed that line. Keystone pipeline finished, right? So we don't have pipelines, we can't transport. We don't have enough refineries. So our oil goes to US, is refined, and then it's sold back to us at a much higher price. The oil, in Quebec and Atlantic Canada, half of the oil is imported. And it's imported from Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and those countries. This is the failure of leadership of our country. And why they do this? I don't know. Just young voters, young voters, NDP voters, green voters. Right? Now, there's a study just came that of the worst polluted country cities, 99% of cities are in India. The worst pollution, right? India has no carbon tax. China, 27% of green gas emissions, they are taking place from China. China has no carbon tax. US has no carbon tax. We have a carbon tax. If you first the price further, and gas is need of every family, every person almost, right? Every family, like food, like groceries, right? And then the price of gas goes up. There's transportation, anything related to transportation, we get our vegetables, our fruits from US, everything which is transported, the price increases. This is the efficiency of our government. We have one of the largest reserve of natural gas, right? And now since the invasion of Ukraine, the Western Europe is under threat that their supply of natural gas may stop. And the Italian Prime Minister came, the German Chancellor came, right? They requested us, right? But our government refused. So they got agreement with Qatar. So when you are not using your natural resources, which are contributing at least 10% to our GDP, so our economic growth will happen. So whether this is conservative government or liberal government, they both are same. They are the two sides of the same coin. And then when it comes to, where does, this money goes? Right? If you look at, the foreign aid, the amount of foreign aid we give, more than $10 billion have been sent to Ukraine already. And to Middle East, Israel, and other countries. Our money, the taxpayers' hard-earned money, and those people who make between anywhere from 45,000 to maybe $500,000, they are the people who pay taxes. People who make millions, they don't pay taxes. They have so many loopholes. Right? So billions of our dollars are going to Ukraine, and to whom they are going? First we were defending Ukraine, and now when the war will be over, we have to build Ukraine. That's our responsibility. Our defense minister, when they speak, they look like the defense minister of Ukraine. Right? So that money which we send, the taxpayers' money, that goes to the politicians. And Mr. Zelensky, he bought a condo, I was reading, $90 million or something in California for his baby. That money is coming from there, foreignly. There was a wife of a politician. She was fleeing Ukraine with $28 million cash. She was leaving Ukraine and she was, caught on the border. But our government, we should be a peacekeeping and peace maintaining country. We are a peace promoting country. If we look at the Lester Pearson's work, so we are a country. We don't get involved in conflict. We don't become parties. We are neutral, peacekeeping, just country. We support the justice. But now, since last 2 decades at least, our country has been not only becoming a polarized inside, but has also been taking sides in the international conflicts. And you can see their position in the Middle East is completely biased, right? I don't have to say anything. You know what is happening. Innocent kids and children, right? They are being killed every day by the government of a party which all of us have been supporting, right? My uncle came to this country in 1950s, and he used to tell us that they used to campaign, they used to donate for Liberal Party. They did everything in the time of Senior Trudeau. The same party which get elected by our votes. Anyone who wins GTA or 905 area, right? They usually win Ontario. If they win small part of Quebec, they make the government. Our vote counts in 113 ridings. It's a swing vote, 10,000, 20,000 votes. It goes to one party A to party B. So our party, which is called the Party of Diversity, Party of Inclusion, that's what liberals say to them, right? They are Party of Diversity, Party of Immigrants, right? That is the party which brought the immigration fee first time in the history of Canada. Can you believe a party which claims to be Party of Immigrants? They are imposing the immigration fee. And how much was it? $975. First time in the history of Canada, the immigration fee. Per person, not per family, per person. Almost $1,000 per person. Who can afford it? And if you exclude us, if you exclude the immigrants from the economy, you think any Tim Horton will run? Right? No Tim Horton will run. No gas station will run. No Starbucks will run. Right? No Burger King will run. This is immigrants who are running the economy of our country. Right? And all of the forces are directed upon us. Right? Racism in every single institution you go, you will face racism. And then especially our community, right? And the Liberal Party. If you study, you will be shocked that first time in the history of Canada, the ban on scarf in Quebec was brought on by Liberal Party. In 2010, they brought Bill 94. Then 2017, they again brought a bill. They made it so tough at that time that if you wear a scarf, you can neither give a service or take a government service. Then came Bill 21, right? And then we see 13, so many bills. They all target against the minorities. But we are sleeping, we are, we're just free voters. Right? And then look at, cannabis. They legalized cannabis. There was no debate in the parliament. Nothing. Just like a dictator, Just like a dictator, We just decided one day that, okay, I'll legalize cannabis, and now you see the cannabis shops, the youth, and the girls and boys and people, and sometimes even patients smoke cannabis at our clinic, and we tell them, please leave this space and go to Trudeau's house and go and smoke there. This is sex education. This is dream of Mr. Trudeau, to make it so radical. You can't even imagine. Little boys, they even don't know the boy and girl and difference and sex and how is baby born. They are being taught that you can be boy, you can be girl, you can be both sometimes. Or you can be neither, or you can be other. So many pronouns, right? But it has to do with the kids. It's gone so extreme. Then in BC, they legalize hard drugs now. Now you can have a cocaine, whatever, morphine or whatever, you can possess it. It's legal, and they want to bring it to their provinces. This gender fluidity theory and drugs, I don't know, this is a party which is just focused on sex and just focused on drugs and spending people's money, sending it overseas. Our economy is being destroyed. Auto industry is gone. So many things have happened. And we as a minority, our values are same as values of majority of Canadians. Believe me, majority of Canadians don't want this cannabis. They don't want this type of sex education. Majority of Canadians, irrespective of their faith. It's not that the white people like it or other people don't like. No, every reasonable Canadian who is a family man, who has kids, they don't want their young kids to be taught, stuff like this. Even the atheists, people who are agnostic atheists, they don't want this type of, cannabis and sex education. Our values are same as the values of other people. This is being imposed upon the Canadians on the just name of freedom or whatever. This is an agenda, and we have to live here. We are not going back. I see many families every single day, and some of them are immigrants. And I have met so many people. They had birth, they decided to go back to Pakistan or Bangladesh. I know families personally, they decided to go back to Bangladesh. Right? And I know families, they decided to go back to the Arab countries, but they were able to last there only for 6 months, 1 year or 2 years, and then they're back. Our kids are born here, they are raised here, they will live here, and we are the people who are building Canada. If you explore us, if you go in the rural areas, you will find people there, on EI, disability, and social, this and that, I know people, they are living in these apartment buildings for 30 years, husband, wife, working, they still couldn't buy a house. They're trying to teach their kids, educate their kids. They are the most peaceful citizens, law-abiding citizens. Still the system is working against us. Why? Because we are sleepers. We should not point fingers on others. We should look at us. What are we doing? Most of us, we are occupied with the background, with politics. There are people in our community who are they're very, very rich, filthy rich. They don't have any time. They are busy in the 99 cycle. 99 cycle, samajhte hain? In 9900 or 100, they're busy in this. Then there are people who are professionals, lawyers, accountants, physicians, engineers. Their focus is how to get more clients, right? And then there are regular people who work 9 to 5. They come home after their job and they sit in front of TV and look at Geo News or Dunia News.
Oh, listen.
This is not going to make anything. Even if there is a genocide upon us here, right? Hasina Wajid or Modi or whoever, in Pakistan or Nawaz, they can't do anything and they will never do anything. When there was a legislation in 2021 against the scarf, Pakistani government, Bangladeshi government, Indian government, UAE, any country did not say a single word. If there's a legislation in Pakistan or Bangladesh against something which is impacting people, you will see these statements going through. But they didn't say anything. So please focus on Canadian pictures. This is our country. We are in time in our age that we are like in the last maybe few decades of our life, as Mr. Shah was saying. And we are in a position that we don't have to work. We have been working for more than 30 years, right? We will not benefit anything. And we are all donors. It's not our desire to become MPs or to take something or no. We are just looking at this, that what has happened in the last 20 years. Since Mr. Harper came, the right wing became more right wing, Mr. Trudeau came, the left wing became more left. When there's a political division in the community, when the right wing and left wing, the minorities are affected. Now the minorities are affected, and many Canadians, they feel homeless. They feel politically homeless. They don't like Conservative Party, but they don't have a choice. They don't like the Liberal Party. Now most of the vote the Conservative Party will get, not because they like Conservative Party, because they hate Mr. Trudeau. But he has done to our state. So that was the reason. We studied both parties, we looked at their policies. Look at the Middle East policies, so biased. Look at Ukraine, the immigrants coming from Ukraine, from the first day, they get all the benefits. There are some Ukrainian immigrants, they said we don't want to live in the areas like Brampton and Scarborough, Mississauga because of the brown people. Can you believe? Can you be beggars and choosers? This is
There's a separate page on the Millan website for Ukrainian.
Right. And if you look at Rohingya, no help. Our country didn't say anything. If you look at Hong Kong, our government is standing with Hong Kong all the time, giving statements. But if you look at the Uyghurs, the 3 million Uyghurs in the detention camp in China, they are forcing them to drink alcohol and eat pork in the month of Ramadan. Our government refuses to acknowledge that is a genocide.
No, that is also a propaganda. Because I lived in China for a long time. And
There is also many realities too.
yeah, there are realities, but you know,
We can
most
talk
of them,
later. Give
the
chance
West
our
is doing a
guest.
very big propaganda on that
Please
one.
give chance our guest first.
Yeah, no.
Even Mr. Trump acknowledged that this is a genocide. But our Prime Minister and his cabinet, they refuse to acknowledge this as a genocide. There are how many? 700,000 people from Rohingya. They are at the border of Bangladesh. No help for them. And you know, we had 2 Michaels, which we got from China. You know that story, the 2 Michaels, right? They were 2, Canadians, white Canadians. They were in China. They were not only the people. There are many Canadian citizens of Chinese origin who are Uyghurs. They are also in the detention camp. The government, Trudeau, cabinet, CBC, no one talks about it. They are also Canadian citizens, but no mention. So this is how the bias of our government is. You look at the farmers' protest in India. There was a farmer protest just 2 years ago. Every day our Prime Minister was giving a statement, Boris Johnson was giving, Chrystia Freeland was giving a statement, Jagmeet Singh was giving a statement. Everyone was yelling and shouting at the Indian government. But at the same time, Mr. Modi brought the CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act. No word from our government. Even during this G7 meeting, Mr. Trudeau met Modi on the side, and he said, I want to strengthen my friendship with him. This is how we do. Why should we be silent? And we still, when we go to people for campaign, we were doing campaign in Ajax. I'll tell you that story in Punjabi. We were in Ajax, we were doing a campaign, and we meet one person, he's Pakistani. So we said, he's a centrist party, we are speaking for all Canadians. And he said, listen, Dr. Saab, Trudeau, मैनू 2000 देंदा है, मेरी बुढ़ी नू 2000 देंदा है, मेरे बच्चे बुढ़ी वड्डी नू भी 2000 मिलदा है, कोविड सपोर्ट मेरे छोटे मुंडे नू मोर ट्रूडो ते सानू मोल ले ले अस्सी के मैं किसी होर नू वोट दे सकदे. This is the reality. We told him, we said this is your own money, it's not because of Trudeau, this is because of government.
Just explain to me in English how to
What you say in the last part?
Yes, we went to campaign and we met a Pakistani guy, right? So he said, Trudeau is sending 2,000 for me, for my wife, my 3 kids. We get 8,000. He had 3 businesses which he registered, and he got 40,000-60,000 per business.
Yeah.
So he said, Trudeau bought us.
Yeah.
How can we vote for anyone else?
Yes, exactly.
This is our mentality.
Exactly.
We believe, some of us believe that we are here because of Liberal Party. They brought, no, the maximum immigration has happened in the time of Brian Mullan. That was a Conservative Party. This country needs immigrants. We are here because of the charter of the country, because of the need. If there's no need, no one will bring us. There's no need for doctors. You see how many doctors are driving cab, right? I would have been in the same position. I also came from King Edward Medical College. but Allah help me. So when there's a need, then you are welcome. When there's no need, they don't love us. This is a very biased, this is a very biased system. We need to stand up. We had a meeting at my house and we had this education minister and everything. There was a big debate we were talking. So he told me, well, this is not a Muslim country. I said, I'm talking about Muslim. I'm talking about a human issue. This type of sex education is not in need of Muslims. It's not in need of any child. Right? What you're teaching. He said, well, this, that. Your kids go to private school. I said, listen, I told you, I am not talking about my kids. My kids are big. I'm talking about all the kids. Every child is our child. Right? Then he said, finally he said, no. These are our free votes. These Muslim guys, It's okay. That's okay. Let's have food. They're free vote. This is how we are. We are free vote. And in this country, the only problem we have is power of law. That's it. If we don't speak up, if we don't stand up, right? I was in Montreal last week. I met one of the MPP from our community, He was talking to me, we had a long debate. I said, listen, if you really want to convey your voice, you 15 MPs, right? From your minorities, from mostly our community. I said, you stand up when one day and tell your party we're resigning, we're going on the independent benches. You should first resign from your seat. If you don't want to resign your seat, at least resign from your party. And a big debate. Then he said, well, the people who run the banks, they should resign it too. I said, I'm not talking about the banks. They're not public representative. I'm talking about you. You are public representative. Then his answer was, well, if we resign, Liberal Party will give ticket to other people. I said, yes, that is the reason we don't resign. Then I told him, I said, if you stand up 10 people or 15 people, no one is going to kick you out. They will change their position. This is how position is changed. Not by making this, what these MPs are doing? They run this campaign on the cell phone, sign my petition to do this. It's a joke. When I was a student, we were in school, you might have done the same thing. To postpone the exams, we used to get the sign of the people, students. We go to the professor, we said so many students don't want to, he goes like this and throw it away. No exam will take place. This is the value of these petitions. Our MPs, they're fooling us. They're doing these petitions. These are the people who go into parliament, first 6 months, they even don't know what is their job there. First year they are in euphoria. We became MP. I used to do this in Pakistan where I came. I had $100 in my pocket. I was an MP. They'll be so happy and this and that, right? And then they find out, okay, what is my role here? Your role is raise your hand here and there. Okay, where is the campaign? How much? What is that called? TAD? In Tanzania, what is that? PAD? In Pakistan. What would be my TAD if I was looking? These are people we have. There was an MLA from, I think, Miyawali or somewhere, right? You heard this story, right? He was in the Pakistani assembly and he went to washroom and he put his turban on the seat and he said, "Meri seat te nahi band de right? And he said, the neighbor, he said, this is not a seat of bus, this is for you for 5 years. Right? These are type of people we will have here. They're fooling us. They have no commitment to us. They have commitment to their party. I gave example of Vasti in UK. I forget her name all the time. She was the MP. She was the minister actually. She was a minister in 2014. She resigned on the Middle East issue. They got elected again in this term. Right? That's what we need a leadership. We need to wake up. That was the reason we started Centrist Party. And it's not a Muslim party, it's a party for all. Actually, most of our members are from other communities. The most difficult time we have with our community, because our community says that tool is giving us so much money, why should I be liberal? We are liberal. And some people say, we are Khuni liberal. We went to campaign one guy, and one guy said, we are Khuni liberal. I said, I heard liberal, what is Khuni? That's the situation. And still, I'll say no to वो कहते हैं ना कि शराब दा नशा उतर जाता है, लिबरल दा नहीं उतर अब उतर गया काफी को उतर गया.
Then you tell him you're a bloody good.
So please, we have few requests. Number one, please take part in the Canadian political system. That's one thing. Number two, educate your children, involve them. Unless you get involved, your kids will not get involved. Right? If people tell us, oh, go and get youth, you have to get involved so the youth will get involved automatically. Right? And then we need membership. Membership is free. You go on the website and fill your sheet and you become the member. We get the announcement that this person is in. And then run for office. We don't have a machine that will create people to run. It's you have to run. Us, I have to run. Everyone has to run. This is public. It's easiest to run here. It's not like Pakistan that you need 10 people with Kalashnikovs and hundreds of thousands of dollars and you have to be big land road. No, anyone can run. You don't have to spend a lot of money. It's nothing, right? And most of the expense you do on the election, you can get it back. So run. We have to come forward. Otherwise, there'll be no candidates. Where we get the candidates from? It has to be from us, right? And last thing is donation. It's a 75% reduction for the donation. This year we need about 500 people who can donate $200. So that means $200 means $50. Your donation will be $50. You will get $150 back from them. And we need it to maintain the status of the party. We have done a lot of work on the party to come to this stage. We ran the election, we got nomination, we got the full registration, we ran some by-election, and it's so difficult to do the paperwork, to comply with the regulation. We're doing a lot of work. All the team is doing. I'm not doing it, it's all team. I'm just here because someone has to speak, someone has to be mouthpiece, right? Our team is doing great work. Mr. Shahid Khan, Imtiaz Bhai, Tariq Bhai, Hafiz Munif Saab, Khalid Bhai, and Dr. Das, all of us are working. We're grateful to Hafiz Atiq Saab that he gave us opportunity to be here. So please take action. We have to run for office, we have to become members, and we need some donations. So, Jazakallah. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Any brothers we are only taking 3 questions, not more than 3. 3 questions we are taking.
It's a federal. We do have a provincial. We registered last election, but that's very small level.
Any other brothers?
Actually, I want to share my some observation based on the concern you just expressed over here. Actually, we don't have any practical contribution in this society. Because we are so busy, as you explained, in our businesses, jobs, whatsoever. If someone has a chance to go forward, any platform, we don't have the vision, we just yes, nobody will stop you to express your views, your concerns. Unfortunately, we did not complete our job in any platform. So we have to meet our candidates, have an vision. We are not alone. There are other so many communities who have the same concerns. Whenever any protest we see in the society, all they participate on the same issues. So we have to bring our any leadership in the same who have the visions to address all these situations as well.
So thank you so much. So I have to take off because
Thank you.
Thank you very much everyone for coming today. We have a photo, like a group photo, outside in the yard, and after that we are done. Any brother want to stay with us, he can stay. Anyone want to leave, more than welcome.
more than welcome.